Hi, I'm Wayne the Boat Guy, and today we're going to talk about the most useful tool for new boaters, the boat hook push pole. When I was buying my first boat, one of my friends who has a boat, one of the first things he said to me, he said, make sure you get one of those big pole things for pushing off and with a hook on it. And I was pretty sure I knew what he was talking about, but he said, he goes, that'll really come in handy. That's something you need to get right away. And I trust him, so I went to one of the stores and I looked around until I found something like this and picked it up. And I've used it every single time I've taken my boat out. And I'm sure most of you know what this is and know what it's for. But essentially, it's a really long telescoping pole. Mine actually telescopes into 3 sections. So it's like when it's fully telescoped, I don't know, it's probably 12 feet long. And it floats. Yes, it floats because we have dropped it over the edge of the boat before. But this pole is useful whenever you're leaving the dock or the marina and whenever you're coming back in to tie off. And the reason it's useful is because this rubber tip right here, you can take this pole and you can use it to push off of pilings and off of piers and off of bulkheads. You can have somebody else who's in the boat with you be pushing off from the back because you're trying to steer yourself out and you haven't kind of judged exactly how the current and the tide and the wind is working, and next thing you know, the back of your boat is getting ready to smack up against something. You can just hold this pole and push away with it. Then whenever you're coming back, you use this hook part to catch a hold of the rope. And you grab a hold of the rope, pull the rope towards you to tie your boat off. I use this tool every time I come back into the marina because my bow lines are permanently attached to the pier. So they're flopped up on the pier once I've pulled away, and when I come back in, I've got to be able to retrieve those lines. And the only way to do that is with this hook. That way I can be standing up on the front of my boat and just reach out there, grab a hold of these, pull the bow lines back in, start tying up the boat. Same with my ones that are on the stern, that are mounted on the post back here. And yes, it does float. We have dropped it in the water a couple of times, and it's awesome because one of the things that said on this when I bought it, it says, it floats. And I thought, oh, okay, that's nice, but we would have lost it if it didn't float. So here we are. Let me show you. Drop it into the water and retrieve it. So it doesn't sink. Matter of fact, there was a pretty good current one time and the thing floated across the pier and we were able to go pick it up on the other side of the pier. But yeah, once again, see, it floats. So usually what I do is I keep this stored in one of I guess these were rod holders that were on the side of my boat. And I keep this stored in there whenever I'm underway and whenever I'm parked here at the marina. Do we call it parked when we're at the marina? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below. So I keep this in the rod holders that are along the side of my boat. But as soon as I'm getting ready to pull out, when I'm starting my engine, getting the boat going, I pull this out of there, I extend it to an appropriate length, and have it handy so that way I can push off from any pilings or any other boats or anything as I'm trying to come out of the marina. I then put it away while we're underway, and whenever we're coming back in down to the creek, we have to come in at 6 miles an hour. And usually right before I come in the creek, if I'm by myself, I'll pull the pole back out again. And if somebody's with me, that's the first thing I ask them to do is pull out the pole because, as I said, I've needed this every single time. So it is the most useful tool that's on my boat. Let me show you a couple things with this that are pretty cool. So when we come back to the marina, I need to pull myself on over and retrieve my stern line. There we go. Caught me a stern line. You can use the hook to push yourself off. Pull yourself over. And retrieve one of your lines that you need to tie off your boat. So as you can see, this is a very, very useful tool. They're not very expensive, and it's probably the most used accessory you'll ever have on your boat. Yes, we need to have life preservers. Yes, we need to have other kinds of safety gear. But this is a piece of gear that you'll use all the time. If other people go out boating with you, it's important to show them how to use this as well. Explain to them how they can use this for pushing off of pilings and just to hold on to the post and just gently push away from it. Have them try it while you're tied up somewhere so they can kind of feel how when they push that the boat actually moves away. Because for some people when they first go to do it, it's kind of unnerving or they're worried that something could happen. So if you just got a boat, before you go out in the water, when you go to get those life preservers to be Coast Guard safe, get one of these too, because you're really going to appreciate having one. And for those of you who've done this for years and are still watching, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you might have learned something today. And for those of you new boaters out there, I definitely hope that you learned something from this video today. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and be safe out there on the water. All right?